All things considered, it would perhaps not be wise to reveal the source of the account that follows, or indeed the circumstances of our introduction. I have not been able to fact-check all of the details, but, unfortunately, what follows does appear to have some foundation in events reported widely in the local area. It all started when I signed up for cheer. I raced to the sports hall as soon as the bell released us from our first period. A crowd was formed around the list, but I didn't care. I could see the paper from 10 feet away. I could see my name on it. I had made it this year. I had made it onto the Buckland Tigers cheerleading squad. That was it. Nothing else mattered. For 3 whole years, I'd tried so hard to get onto my high school's team. Everybody who was anybody was on the team. I had my hair done, my stomach clamped. Getting my mother to agree to that took forever. I did cheer camps, went to workshops, desperately asked for the other cheerleaders' tips and tricks. But I had failed, time and time again. The Tigers became practically a religion whose rites I couldn't perform, whose initiation I so desperately wanted to get into. Until this year. I'm not sure what changed. I had been a different routine every year. Maybe my desperation to be on the team, written all over my face, was so obviously painful they took pity on me. Well, it didn't matter now, though. I did it! The first few weeks, I was living a dream. Practices and routines, and the parties I was invited to. I had no idea. It was heaven. I was somebody. We had exercises, learned dances, worked on synchronization and positioning and timing. We performed at every school sport event just to work up to our high school homecoming game. Homecoming game was Buckland versus Harrington High. The entire school had arrived and sat in the bleachers, watching eagerly. There's nothing quite like the roar of a high school touchdown. I can't remember much of what happened, but I do remember how quiet it got when the first scream happened. I had been in the locker room, freshening up before our halftime performance. Again, it's blurry, and I don't remember much, but I found my teammate Jesse dead. Everyone went home after that. The police came. They questioned us, the full procedure and whatnot. All the squad was in shock. Most of us crying or calling our parents. Coach Harris seemed to take it the worst. All the team members were like her children. I was covered in Jessie's blood. I'd called the police after I found her. Apparently I'd been crying, but I don't remember the tears. It was like something out of a movie. I don't feel much at all right now thinking about it, actually. Just sad. It was kind of hard, but life goes on. Eventually, school returned back to normal after Jesse's funeral. Although it felt a little weird at first, we went back to competing and performing for the school. It was almost as if we owed it to Jessie. We were winning a lot, actually, as if achieving something would allow us to somehow make sense of the tragedy of our teammate's death. Then Cora was found dead at San Marino High. She had a note on her, a suicide note. They said the suicide note was in her handwriting. Her parents were absolutely grief-stricken, and seeing them at the funeral made me so upset. No one deserves to lose a child. Things just got worse, though. Slowly, it seemed the team was being picked off. It was obvious something was going on, but no one really knew what. Then Allison went, thrown off the bleachers. I remember crying inconsolably at her funeral. It was Sarah next, put into a coma after being hit with a baseball bat at Palo Alto. Finally, it was Megan, who had been so nice to me when I first got on the team, found dead in the lunchroom. They ended the cheer season early after that. At one stage, they were even talking about closing the school permanently. Everything seemed so ominous and threatening when the school reopened. Not like it was before. Everyone was dragging themselves around like zombies at a wake. But you understand. 5 girls were dead. Well, 6. I had a funeral too. My parents showed up. The rest of the squad too, all in uniform. I was found in a locker room, just like Jesse. A suicide note clutched in my hand. I made sure it was Coach Harris that found me this time. It was a nice service, my funeral. It was eerie to see it from the back row, though. I even got to walk through the line and place a flower at my casket. In the note, I told my mother that I was in a better place now. I told my father that I had truly loved him. And I made sure to tell my coach, who was in pieces, that it really wasn't her fault. It was so weird seeing myself cremated, though. I was just really glad there was no smell. In the note, I'd said I couldn't live without my friends, that I'd lost, that I was terrified that someone would come to get me, that it was better if I went on my terms. Anyway, I'm done with school. Coach Harris got a new job in Vermont. We started a new life together. But between the two of us, I'm thinking of dumping her. I guess something will have to be done. You know, during my cheer season, I went through 6 different uniforms, all ruined with my teammates' blood. If I'd known they bled so much, I wouldn't have used a knife. All that sticky stuff, it's so... Ugh! I'm still not used to it.